Hello, my name is Kip Weller. I'm an FAE, Field Application Engineer with JF Kilfoyle. We've done a few videos on the use of heat shrink tubing, which is a product line that I'm responsible for. But one of our last videos we did was on DIY, do-it-yourself, or home applications for heat shrink. And on that one I concentrated on outdoor sealing of wire splices, where you need to connect wires together for your boat, lawnmower, motorcycle, things that are outside, and ways that you can seal them using Sumitomo's products, including dual-walled adhesive line tubing and some other options. But there are other things that we wanted to mention that you can use heat shrink tubing for, like for rope termination. I grew up sailing and I was always taught to keep the ropes neat. If you cut a rope and give it a little time, it ends up frayed and looking kind of ugly, and it's not very workable. And you can think about shoelaces too. This material comes small enough for shoelaces. You get a pair of shoes, sneakers, and your shoelaces are too long, or you get some replacement laces and they end up looking like this if you cut them. I would probably use white heat shrink tubing on this for myself, but I use some yellow just to show. And the shrink tubing will normally grip onto the rope or the shoelace plenty well, but if you need a little hot melt adhesive, you can use that as well. But it's an easy way, and that'll last forever. Take a pen or pencil that's a little too small for your hand. Maybe it's because you're getting older and a little arthritic, or you just want a better gripping surface. Heat shrink tubing makes a really good rubbery gripping surface and increases the diameter, so it can make a pen or pencil more comfortable. Think about a tool. Most of my tools are insulated, but this was an old pair of cutters that was metal and it wasn't insulated. I like insulated tools. It gives you a better grip, and if you're working on a wire, so you can insulate your tool handles, including things like screwdrivers. I work on light switches oftentimes and I don't bother to kill the breaker. So if the screwdriver touches things in the outlet box, it'll spark. Or if you're working on a circuit board, even if it's unplugged, some components, my understanding, they can store electricity like capacitors, and you can end up damaging the components of the board. But if you insulate the shaft, now you can go right to what you want to at the tip. But if you bump anything, you've got a layer of insulation. And I'll show you one more application that's outside. I've got to move to get there, but I'll show you that, and then I'll come back and we'll close this out. Okay, I had to take you outside for this application. I wasn't going to haul this in my shop. As you can see, it's a wheelbarrow. It's a very old friend, decades old. Replaced the front wheel, but you can see the lumber, the handlebar, the handles. They get very old or strong, but they get very dried out and started getting slivers in my hands. I had to use gloves. Anytime I use this thing, I'd get a monster sliver. I thought about taping up the handles, but of course not. There's a large diameter, medium wall type heat shrink. It'll be on there long after I'm dead and gone, but it makes a great handle. Nice grippy surface, good contact surface. No slivers. Up here, this wood is really aggressive, but right here makes a beautiful handle for rakes, shovels, wheelbarrows, that sort of thing. Well, I'm back in the shop. That's it for there's endless. Oh, I forgot to mention, you might have a pipe that you're concerned that it's going to sweat, like in your basement, or a pipe that something's clattering against, or maybe there's an electrical wire or cable nearby that you don't want to short out on the pipe. Makes a great pipe insulation. If the pipe's in the ceiling in your basements, it won't get cold and sweat because you've got this layer of insulation on it. So there's a lot of mechanical, non-electrical applications for heat shrinkable tubing. They're kind of endless. I've got heat shrink tubing on so many things, repaired extension cords, pens, pencils, pipes, pliers, that sort of thing. Anyway, you can reach us if you have any applications in mind. You can reach us on our website. It's jfkilfoyle.com. My name's Kip Weller, and I'm the heat shrink guy. Look forward to talking to you. Thanks.